Tired of watching or listening to uninteresting television channels? Then your worries have been addressed, as the SLBC Podium is the answer to your concern.
The SLBC television show, The Podium, is one of the programs you can't afford to miss as a guest or a viewer.
Oh yes, Podium is the show where the mighty and the low will like to sit, because it is a trusted medium to channel your views, concerns, and aspirations for Sierra Leone and other happenings around the globe.
Podium is where you get breaking news, because everyone wants to talk to us. If you hear it on Podium, ask no further.
Don't forget to join us every midday from Monday to Friday as we ask the hard questions that you otherwise will have asked to the newsmakers, the movers and shakers of events.
Don't miss the opportunity to be part of Sierra Leone's topmost midday show, The Podium, where the agenda is set for others to follow. Thanks for watching. God bless you. Goodbye.
Discover Sierra Leone, a hidden gem of West Africa, where the radiance of life danced in harmony with the beauty of nature.
Feel the heartbeat of our culture in every beat of the drum, in every step of the dance.
Experience the tranquility of our shores, where each sunrise brings new stories and endless possibilities.
Immerse yourself in the vibrant tapestry of our daily life, where every color tells a tale and every face a friend.
Come, be enchanted by the sights and sounds of Sierra Leone.
A place where your adventure awaits.
And memories are made.
I am Aminata Fofana, a reporter, a presenter, and an anchor for the SLBC.
I am Dennis Fraser, reporter and presenter here at the Public Broadcaster, and this is the SLBC.
Hi, I am Cynthia Kamara, a news anchor, a reporter, radio presenter, and announcer. I find pleasure in keeping you updated, and it's a pleasure.
Hello everyone, I am Stella Frederica Bangura, a reporter and presenter at the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation. Stay tuned all day, every day. Cheers.
Discover Sierra Leone, a hidden gem of West Africa, where the rhythms of life dance in harmony with the beauty of nature.
Feel the heartbeat of our culture in every beat of the drum, in every step of the dance.
Experience the tranquility of our shores, where each sunrise brings new stories and endless possibilities.
Immerse yourself in the vibrant tapestry of our daily life, where every color tells a tale and every face a friend.
Come, be enchanted by the sights and sounds of Sierra Leone.
A place where your adventure awaits.
And memories are made.
We are the national broadcaster, and I am Sulaiman Baba Toure, a reporter and presenter at the SLBC. Your voice, my voice.
From the commercial department, I am Regina Bangura. You are watching SLBC. Your voice, my voice.
I am Jonathan Turner, a reporter for Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation, SLBC. As a reporter, I do stories on education, health, politics, and more. Stay glued with SLBC to watch my stories. Your voice, my voice.
Lucian Ganda, producer Wayus, and producer and presenter Christian Renditions on TV. This is the SLBC.
I am William Wise, presenter Wayus and also reporter at the SLBC, and this is the SLBC.
I am Salma Tabak, television executive producer. I produce programs on both radio and television. I'm a news anchor, a presenter, an announcer on radio. I enjoy what I do because I serve a public service broadcaster. It's a pleasure to work with the SLBC.
I am Tilikoma, Head of News and Current Affairs Unit, Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation. Our news hour now covers several segments. We have entertainment, business, weather, sports, ferry schedule, and human interest stories, not forgetting politics. We are doing all that to keep you people posted on what's happening all over the country. Thanks for being with us at SLBC. Keep blue. We are the best.
A place cannot produce poems. It can only not prevent them. And Freetown is good at that, for Freetown has its own sudden elegances. People are slow to leave it, quick to return. And there are others who come for a year or two and stay for a lifetime, sensing that they found a city that is in the world, yet sufficiently on the edge of it to have a different resonance.
Let me tell you something about this city. All of us, we're all just passing through, and we've all been here forever.
Those who came, those who stayed, those who never returned. Tides turn, seasons change. We've waited and we've watched. But we've always been here. We've always listened. Because there is a different resonance here. It comes from the river, and the land, and the sky.
It's our place. All of us.
This city belongs to everyone.
And you know when it's your time.
And it's our time.
Listen, we are Freetown.
We are Freetown!
The golden rules of Freetown.
Don't pretend you're something that you're not.
Don't go thinking you're better than anyone else.
Or that anyone else is better than you.
Don't shout about it. Get on with it. We are Freetown.
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 Yeah.
We found our voice again.
I'm from India and Freetown.
I'm from China and Freetown.
I'm from the UK and Freetown.
I am from Nigeria and Freetown.
I am from home and Freetown.
This city belongs to everyone.
The fishermen,
The taxi driver,
The barber,
the drummers, the dancers.
all of us.
All of us. Everybody. We are Freetown.
The past is ours.
The future is ours. It's our time again.
And this city belongs to everyone.
The playwright,
The greengrocer, the teacher, the dog.
This space is ours.
this light is ours.
The beaches are ours.
The rivers now we own.
The roads are ours.
The bridges now we own.
We are Freetown.
We are all visitors and we've all been here forever.
We've got the mightiest river
And the biggest sky.
And there's a resonance again.
Freetown, Freetown.
We are proud of this place.
We love this city.
and we want you to love it too.
We are proud of this place.
Na pass we all dey pass like stranger dem, but we all don dey from there. Come here, and you'll feel it, that end of the line sense of freedom. Say yes to Freetown. Say yes to freedom.
Life no go ever sweet without
that thing what we call love. Now that make
Love Factor na a very good program where any big person can look and enjoy.
Now the kind program we for spend time for watch. Now the kind program we for spend time for sit down for look.
And this program it me I don't learn from and I wonder you say for life.
The Love Factor show is about family, love, counseling,
relationship. We say we dey build and maintain relationship. This na program we say we dey counsel you for let you know how for dey with your partner, let you know how for settle dispute between you and your heart to heart.
well, you do hear it for yourself.
join the Love Factor team
every Sunday, 10 p.m.
for help make we all enjoy love and peace.
Sierra Leone is a country on a new path of development, a new direction. As we awaken to a new sense of patriotism and pride as Sierra Leoneans, the Slbc brings together enlightened senior citizens with much experience to help steer Sierra Leoneans on the path of a defined course of pride and consciousness, a constructive nationalism. So, join the Slbc for the program Constructive Nationalism. Come and let's build Sierra Leone every Saturday at 3 p.m. on the Slbc. Constructive Nationalism on the Slbc.
It's Media in Freetown. Good afternoon and welcome to the podium. Our quote for today comes from Karl Cross, who is a writer and journalist, and it says, "Corruption is worse than prostitution. The latter might endanger the morals of an individual. The former invariably endangers the morals of the entire country." Coming up in this edition of the podium, Sierra Leone is ranked top 10 in the 2024 Mo Ibrahim Index of African Governance Scorecard, including transparency and anti-corruption. Budget Advocacy Network releases its findings on the suspended Auditor General Lara Taylor Pierce and our Deputy Tamba Momo, and Advocacy for the Rehabilitation of Mentally Disadvantaged Victims hold an awareness-raising session on mental health challenges, especially in workplaces. Well, all these issues and more coming up in this edition of the podium. Be part of it. Send your messages to 030-073-719. The number again is 030-073-719. This is the podium. My name is Daphne Zainab Kamara. This afternoon, Sierra Leone has been ranked top 10 in the 2024 Mo Ibrahim Index of the African Governance Scorecard, including transparency and anti-corruption. Sierra Leone is among the top 10 of the most improved countries in governance and progress over a decade, 2014 and 2023, with the fight against corruption. The 2014 IIAG report indicated a significant improvement in anti-corruption efforts in the country as it increased its score in anti-corruption mechanism to 54.5 and ranked 7 out of the 54 African countries, and above the African and West African averages of 49.3 and 52.6%. Sierra Leone has been ranked along with countries including the Gambia, Angola, and Mauritania. Well, in the studios for more on this, I have the Director of Public Education and Outreach, Anti-Corruption Commission of Sierra Leone, Patrick Sandy. Good afternoon, sir. Welcome to the podium.
Very good afternoon, and good afternoon to viewers. Pleased to be with you.
Yes. What does this mean for us, Sierra Leone as a country?
It is straightforward. It means we are making progress. It's a pat on our back. Though we are yet to continue the fight against corruption, but we are making progress. That's what people should know. And for the aspect of governance, we should also understand that the fight against corruption plays a key part. Transparency, accountability, anti-corruption, as it is today, we need to put a lot of effort in it because they are part of the governance architecture. So with this kind of report coming out, of course it's for a 10-year period, but for that period to date, and it speaks to also current successes or gains made in the governance architecture, specifically to that of the fight against corruption and transparency, I want to believe it is quite good enough because some other countries are lagging. And if you look at the report itself, generally, it is not a very good picture. It paints a gloomy picture for Africa as a continent because you see, for instance, in the Sahel, where there have been a lot of coups and counter coups or some other forms of disturbances. But for Sierra Leone, we have made inroads, and in the area of transparency, accountability, and the fight against corruption, we are graded very well, and the more reason why we are in the top 10. We are, you know, with countries like Seychelles, as you've just mentioned, Djibouti, Mauritania, Angola, and the Gambia. So I want to put it this way, that as a country, we've made progress, particularly in the area of the fight against corruption, transparency, and accountability, as of course confirmed by other indexes that is done, regional as well as international.
Okay, now before we come to the report, let's talk about the credibility of Mo Ibrahim Index report.
It is a very, very, very and highly credible and reputable report because we know Mo Ibrahim and the support that the organization or the foundation gives to ensuring open governance, you know, to ensure that the governance systems are straight enough. And we even see where Mo Ibrahim have been given awards to leaders of African countries who do exceptionally well in democratic principles or democratic initiatives. So it's a very credible survey, is a very credible institution, and whatever report that comes out, they must have, you know, done their own bits in terms of surveys and what goes into it, because they have different categories they look at and they have subcategories. And the more reason why Sierra Leone as a country, we're in the category of security and the rule of law, and that's where we made a lot of inroads when you look at the fight against corruption. So speaking straight to anti-corruption mechanisms, they had to establish that. They made the survey. They have to get people on the ground, you know, who do interviews, and then who also look at things that are happening. Look at, for instance, public sector corruption, private sector corruption, the perception of public in regard to the fight against corruption. All of these are things that they put, and it's an independent report, because that kind of report, when it comes out, we all know it is not influenced by anybody. Besides, you don't even know when they are coming to do the survey and who is involved particularly, but they have representatives in Sierra Leone and they are doing all of this at a given point in time. It's a 10-year period, but they also follow the progress, or they follow the statistics, or follow what is happening in the country, for which they can put together this report. And we see the progress made as against the report in 2014, the differences that we are kind of looked at. If you look at, for instance, in anti-corruption mechanisms, which is 54.5, we see that Sierra Leone is ranked 7. And then, of course, we are above the averages that they had set for African countries and West African countries, more specifically. And then in other areas, the differences also that we've gained. For instance, in public sector corruption, we scored 41.1, and this is a change in the score, plus 9, meaning we've progressed upwards by 9 points. In the previous survey, we were down, you know, in the 30s. Then the same for the public, the perception of survey, the perception of corruption, you know, that also we made significant improvement by way of making a score of 16.6 upwards. So these are all indicators to show that as a country, we are making progress, and let us continue to support the fight against corruption, to ensuring that every aspect of this country where we suspect corruption taking place, we come out and make the report, or the ACC knows about it and they deal with it decisively. But we all need to come together and address this problem of corruption in Sierra Leone.
Okay, and now let's talk about the anti-corruption commission's role in good governance.
It's very critical. That's the more reason why in indexes like this, even though we'll talk about African governance, the Mo Ibrahim Index for African governance, anti-corruption, transparency, and accountability are very key, pivotal. Because as I've said, in the manner to see how governance will work very well, you want to see that there are no incidences of corruption. And also there is transparency and accountability. Because if, for instance, there's endemic corruption or speaking to bribery, that prevents investors from coming into the country. It affects the governance system. And then also if there's heightened bribery, you'll find out that people are always scared into doing business in the country. Investors coming with their money. Donors will also be afraid because they know that when they come with their resources, it will be misappropriated, or it will go to the wrong places, or implementation will have some effect, negative effect. So it scares people away. Even it impedes economic growth of the country. And what essentially good governance does is for the country to progress, because there are set standards upon which the country should thrive, and that's described as good governance. So as a country, once we are making progress in this line, it means corruption, the fight against corruption is central to it, issues of transparency, central, accountability. That's why we are in the category of security and the rule of law, because that all falls within it. And as a country, if we want to maintain the governance system, it means security and the rule of law has to move and has to be very good.
And now does the ACC, our own anti-corruption commission, Sierra Leone's anti-corruption commission, has the autonomy to follow the books on the mechanisms in place to fight against corruption?
Well, certainly, yes. We have the Act. And so that Act gives us the mandate to follow books. We have, for instance, the Prevention Department. The Prevention Department goes proactively into MDAs. So we have that law, and we are doing so. We go in there, do reviews, make recommendations, and ensure those recommendations are followed through. We go and do monitoring. The same for the National Anti-Corruption Strategy, which is always put together. So the Anti-Corruption Commission in Sierra Leone has what it takes by way of the law, by way of the legislation, and we are doing so even as it were, quite physically. Not only that you may have the law, but we are going out to ensure that we follow the law through by going into institutions, ensuring that practices and procedures are well enough for corruption not to thrive.
Okay. Now we know that you do not you do not make gains in waiting for corruption to happen. You spoke just now about corruption prevention. Let's talk about the mechanisms in place for such.
Well, that's what I am saying. We develop, after every systems review, recommendations for the MDAs to follow. And those recommendations are to be implemented over a period of time. And therefore, we develop what we call also an implementation matrix, whereby when they go to monitor these recommendations, you have that handbook, the implementation manual handbook, to guide that implementation of the recommendations. So within 90 days after we've submitted our report, we go in and then see the extent at which you have implemented those recommendations. Some recommendations we really have to span over a period of time because there are a lot of things to be put in. That's why we are going to agree, that is that the ACC and the client institution will agree on the time span for the implementation of those recommendations. But we go in there and monitor. Okay. So that is really what comes in initially. It has been quite successful. You see, we have 1 or 2 MDAs who are having challenges. But they will talk about resources, they talk about personnel, because when we go to recommend, we recommend things that, of course, will have to attract cost because they are not existing in that particular MDA. So those areas we can see, but we want also the MDA to take it up as a challenge, and in the ensuing year, for instance, put a budget aside for such, so that next time when we come to monitor, things would have been put in place to reduce on the opportunities of corruption that exist in those MDAs. But that does not necessarily mean that that institution itself cannot be investigated for corruption. If for any reason an allegation of corruption is made against that institution, even though a systems review have been conducted, but rather till we get a complaint against that institution, we can still go in, investigate, and then where we deem fit, we prosecute.
Okay. Now the report spans, it says a 10-year span. Now let's talk about what the categories that the ACC has made progress in.
Well, basically, the categories we've made progress in, we look at firstly the anti-corruption mechanisms. We've made progress in that. We made progress in absence of corruption in state institutions. That doesn't mean you still do not. Yes, we have to establish this. But at least we've taken steps. We've made deliberate steps.
Not as rampant.
Exactly. It's not as rampant, and it's not the culture as it used to be. People thought it's as a way of life, that if you come here, they insist. But now with the ACC, they know that there's somewhere to make a report, and when those reports are made, actions are being taken. So that was also taken note of in this report. Then also we look at the absence of corruption in the public sector, the absence of corruption in the private sector as well, we made against that, and public perception of anti-corruption commission, that also we made huge gains. In the aspect of the transparency and accountability, there is so much gains also made in that respect. You look at civic checks and balances, we scored very high in that as well. And also, if you look at the aspect of institutional checks and balances, because you have those civic checks and balances, you have also institutional checks, meaning the civil society or citizens question things that happen that relates to governance, that relates to the running of the affairs of the state. So a lot was called in that. Because under this category of security and rule of law, you realize that you have all as a standalone transparency and accountability, and a standalone anti-corruption as well. So they have been able to fuse these two under the aspect of security and the rule of law. In the previous survey, they only had transparency and accountability in 2014. But now there's every reason that they will bring in anti-corruption to stand out. Even though you still have transparency and accountability, but anti-corruption stand out because of the immense work that we are doing as a commission in the governance arrangement of the country.
Okay, and now we see, like my interviewer says that most of the time, other African countries that have excelled in this report had like 49.5, 52.6, and now Sierra Leone, being in the top 10, has 54.5. Let's talk about that.
No, yes, certainly. We have made progress.
It's like a record.
Certainly, it's a record, and this score is quite remarkable, and as you've put it as well, record unprecedented, and we intend to improve on this going forward. But it is something we have to speak about, or it's something we have to talk about. It's something that we have to take to town, so that people know that a lot is being put into the fight against corruption. A lot is being put into issues of accountability and transparency. And it's not the issue of business as usual. Citizens, for instance, I say now check, they question things that happen around the governance system. And there is that space provided for them to do all of that. So it is also part of it. And as I've said, we as citizens have the responsibility, even with the ACC, to ask questions as to what we do. And we have provided that platform to them as to asking why the ACC do this, or why are you not doing it this way. So we also take all of those things on board and we re-strategize. Currently, we have the National Anti-Corruption Strategy, for which consultations have been held nationwide. And the local indigenous experts are putting the report together, which will launch very soon. So that in itself, the national strategy, which brings together views of those in the formal and the informal sector as to how they want the fight against corruption to go or progress, is also something that is worth noting. So all of these engagements, public engagements we do, the engagements we do with MDAs, the sensitization programs, bringing citizens also to have a share or a feel of what we do in the fight against corruption, I'm sure has really brought in a lot of dividend to the fight against corruption. Because before this time, the fight against corruption was seen as people to be mythical. What I mean, as if something that is outside of human comprehension. But now we are trying to really demystify what is happening so people understand that that is what is going on. And I'm sure that helps in the governance of a state, because we're talking about open governance. We're talking about the open society, which of course the Mo Ibrahim Foundation also encourages for African countries, because they help a lot.
So what would it take for Sierra Leone to be at the top?
Basically, it's about the input. What is it?
Not the first step, but just like the first.
The very first in the
yes.
nation. Well, basically, it's all about the progress we make on the indexes or these categories that are stated. We need to score very high. And what that means is putting a lot of effort. If you're talking about the fight against corruption, it has also to be improved. I've mentioned citizens' cooperation in the fight against corruption, in as much as we are making progress. But wherever it is happening, have confidence in the ACC and make your report. Not about the views people hold, skeptics, cynics, and things like that. They are not evidence-based. Let us ensure that we support the ACC in its work. And the same goes for other institutions, governance institutions, the health sector, for instance, the rule of law, the judiciary. All these are things that you need to bring up to speed.
The police and the judiciary.
Yeah,
we know that most of the time reports have come out that they are corrupt and all of this. So what will the ACC do to ensure that these places are free?
No, we are working closely with these bodies. They're using the justice sector. The judiciary you've mentioned and the police. We have the integrity management committees existing in these institutions so that they can also help to see how some of these things will be curbed. But of course it goes with engagement, dialogue and collaboration.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Mr. Sandy. Continue to stay with us in the program. He is the Director of Public Education and Outreach, Anti-Corruption Commission. For another issue this afternoon, in observance of Post-World Mental Health Day, advocacy for rehabilitation of mentally disadvantaged victims has held an awareness-raising session on mental health challenges, especially in workplaces. Executive Director of Armed Sierra Leone, Lucy Lamin, focused on the need for collective ventures to address mental health issues in the country. Well, for more on this, I have in the studio the Executive Director for the Rehabilitation of Mental Disadvantaged Victims, Lucy Cecilia Lamin. Good afternoon. Welcome to the podium.
Good afternoon, and thank you. I'm excited to be here.
And now tell us more about what your work does for to boost the mental health of people in this country.
Thank you for that question. Good afternoon, listeners. Advocacy for the rehabilitation of mentally disadvantaged victims is an advocacy community-based organization, as its name sounds. We do a lot of advocacy and awareness raising on mental health. And I do not only work for armed victims, I also serve as a project officer for Service Users and Family Members Association. And these two organizations collaboratively had this event yesterday to commemorate the World Mental Health Day 2024. In line with the global theme, mental health in the workplaces, we are working collaboratively with line ministries like social welfare, the Ministry of Health, in trying to see how we can raise more awareness of the public, to see how they can create spaces in different workplaces, be it formal workplaces or non-formal workplaces. That means in offices or those with private enterprises, market women, wherever you find yourself, as long as you are employed or you employ individuals, we need to raise the awareness of people to create safe spaces wherein support services can be accessed for individuals that are employed who may be challenged mentally, who may be going through mental health challenges. And we also need to raise the awareness that, because a lot of the time when we talk about mental health, most people only think we are referring to those who are visibly seen mentally ill in the streets, scavenging. They forget that almost everybody is facing mental health challenges one way or the other. Some people are struggling silently. Some are struggling ignorantly. They don't even know that they are facing mental health challenges. So we need to raise that awareness, massive awareness. You see, I try to align the previous themes over the years, the previous global themes of mental health, World Mental Health Day. I think 2022 spoke about mental health in an unequal world. 2023 spoke about making mental health universal human right. And this year we are talking about mental health in the workplaces. See how those themes align. They are throwing or shedding more importance to mental health because people are so ignorant. This is why stigmatization, in fact, on those who are people with lived experience of mental health challenges is something we really need to work hard to eliminate, because like I said, each and every individual now globally, most individuals globally are suffering from mental health difficulties. And if we want to look at Sierra Leone, yesterday I was saying at the event that WHO states that 1 in every 4 people are suffering from mental health challenges, one way or the other. But if we are talking about Sierra Leoneans now, realistically, I said, someone was laughing at that. I said, I will state the reverse of what WHO stated, that 3 in every 4 people are going through mental health difficulties in Sierra Leone. I mean, it is evident. Look at the streets of Freetown. Everybody is angry. People are fighting here and there for sometimes things that are not worth fighting over. Mistakenly, you mask somebody where they pass. By the time you remember, before they correct you, na mamikos. Drivers, mamikos, Okada riders, everywhere. People are angry, people are anxious, people are fearful. Why? Mental health challenges, mental health difficulties.
And so, Lucy, have you, as an organization who works with in raising awareness on that, have you gauged the level of awareness of Sierra Leoneans on mental health issues?
Yes, if I want to be honest, currently there is no official data on how many percentage of individuals that have survived or how many percentage of improvement made. But based on statistics of caregiving centers we are working with closely, I can say there is hope. There is some amount of improvement because there is, the awareness is there. First of all, the government has stepped in. They have acknowledged that support or creating spaces for mental health support is important. So they are working on, we have worked on policies together with the government for improved services. And the Sierra Leone Psychiatric Teaching Hospital, now called, there are efficient services ongoing there for the public. And across the 16 districts of the country, all health care centers, government health care centers, there are provisions being made for access to mental health services. That means for individuals in the provinces that won't be able to come to Freetown to access services at the SLPTH can access services from the other parts of the country. So I believe there is some form of hope, awareness is there.
Okay. Now you work with the rehabilitation of mental disadvantaged victims. What actually do you do with these victims? How do you rehabilitate them?
We do not provide rehabilitation services. You hear from our name, we are advocating for the rehabilitation. Yeah. So I believe
so when you say rehabilitation of mentally disadvantaged victims, what do you mean by that?
Okay. We advocate a lot for rehabilitation center. I believe one of the progresses we have made is to be able to convince governments to see the need to create more rehabilitation centers, like social welfare has done now. The MOH, Ministry of Health, has added to the already existing service in the Sierra Leone Psychiatric Hospital. They have another new rehabilitation home open. The Ministry of Social Welfare, as I speak, is working closely with partners, non-governmental organizations, to identify existing rehabilitation centers and see how they can support them to give out efficient or more services that will suit the rising population or the rising need for mental health services. So through our advocacy and other advocacy groups, I believe these are positive strides we've been making, because we are able to attract, government and other stakeholders to see the need to provide these services.
Okay, now, how can one detect that a colleague or even a family member has mental health issues?
There are early signs I can say that can show that someone is going through some mental health challenges, which include isolation, like if an individual whom you have used to know for being very lively, full of life, all of a sudden becomes that calm, he or she is always down, isolating. You can begin to detect that maybe this person is going through some form of depression. But regardless all of those early signs, even though I'm an expert by experience, but I am not in the position to say that A, B, C, and D is...
No, I'm coming to that, because I want to, after you answer my question, I want to ask what do you do about it?
Okay, so let me land. There are caregiving centers. There are experts by profession in these caregiving centers. When individuals feel, this is why we raise awareness first of all on self-care. You have to see certain signs, and then you need to be concerned that, oh, something is not right, let me go to the professionals and seek help. They can be able to identify or to tell you what is wrong with you. I'm not in that position. I'm not an expert by profession. I'm an expert by experience, meaning I can tell from somebody's some signs someone can exhibit, I can tell that something must be wrong. But it is only the professionals that have the right to diagnose what is wrong with you. So in that regard, what we do, or as an individual, as an employer, if you see one of your employees or any of your employees starting to exhibit some signs like low productivity in the workplace, this individual has been very hardworking, and now all of a sudden he or she is changed. He's not working as compared to before. You need to take note that something may be wrong somewhere. You can encourage them to go and seek help. Yeah, you can encourage them to go to the caregiving centers and seek help.
So can we know some of these caregiving centers apart from the psychiatric?
Why are you saying apart? This is
but
why
you said centers. So I want to know others. Because that's one I already know about, and people already know about.
Yeah, but people, because of the stigma around Sierra Leone psychiatry, people
the
have
only
been shying
reason I'm
away.
asking that question is because you mentioned centers.
Okay.
Okay,
we have City of Rest, and we have currently the Social Welfare Rehabilitation Center at Hastings.
Is it not only for kush victims?
Yeah, those affected with substance abuse. Yes, it might be kush or other, but they provide rehabilitation services. Like you can contact social welfare because they handle social issues and psychosocial. They provide psychosocial support. So be it substance abuse cases and other cases, I believe they can handle them. They have experts in different areas. But why I will come back to Sierra Leone Psychiatric Hospital is this. That's the center that government has invested, with other partners have invested so much in, to provide free health services. Psychotropic drugs, for example, or psychiatric services are very expensive across the world. In fact, some parts in Nigeria, to get psychotropic drugs is very expensive. It's not easy. So we should count ourselves blessed for us to be getting that services free there. I do not want anyone to shy away from going there to get help just because of what other people who are less informed, what they may think or how they may judge you. Because most times when you go there, or when you tell people that I'm going there for whether counseling, therapy, or I'm going there for treatment, they say, oh, yeah. So I would like to encourage the public, if you think there is changes in your behavior, in your mood, in your way of thinking, go there and get help for free.
So let's talk about the causes of these issues.
Yeah, the economic meltdown globally, but let's focus on Sierra Leone. We all know certain Tranga. Individuals wake up in the morning, going out to their different places, their different work places or business centers. They are thinking on how, especially those with responsibilities, how they can fend for themselves and their families. It is not easy. It is not really easy. The economic meltdown is one cause of mental illness or mental health challenges in Sierra Leone. Secondly, if we talk about the climate, if we look at the climate, see, the weather is always changing. 1 minute you can see the sun, the hot burning sun. It is not easy. You know, there are lots of factors, underlying factors leading to mental health challenges.
Okay. Well, continue to stay with us, Lucy Lamin, Executive Director, Advocacy for the Rehabilitation of Mental Disadvantaged Victims in Sierra Leone. Well, the podium is going for a short break. When we return, we shall be talking about Budget Advocacy's Network, their report on the analysis of the report of the Tribunal of the Auditor General and Deputy Auditor General. Program is the podium coming to you live on Slbc Television in Freetown. Send your messages to 030-073-719. Budget Advocacy Network has released findings on the suspended Auditor General Lara Cheropias and her deputy Tamba Momo. BAN stated that there were procedural deficiencies, unclear evidentiary standards, unsupported conclusions, and perceived partiality by the tribunal. Well, in the studio to talk more about this, Emmanuel Samura was at the press conference where they outlined their own findings. Good afternoon, Emmanuel. Welcome to the podium.
Good afternoon, Daphne, and viewers, good afternoon.
So tell us more about the reports, BAN's findings on the tribunal.
Firstly, the Auditor General's saga is not something that is hidden. It's something that has been on for some time now, and we know quite some months back the tribunals, they submitted a report to the president. You know, that report entails findings and recommendations from this tribunal. So after that, Budget Advocacy Network, which is a network that has rights-based organization, they said they took their time. They did not comment on the tribunal's report as at the time they presented the report to the president. Rather, they took their time to review, to look at the report itself and bring out the issues or their own positions. One thing that Budget Advocacy mentioned is that throughout the tribunal's process, they had their representatives there and they witnessed everything that happened. They said they were shocked and they were dissatisfied that what happened in the tribunal, the proceedings, is not reflective of what is inside the report. one of the things that they said is that the tribunal, when you look at the tribunal's report, it centers around the Auditor General asking for the third party without informing the, let me say, the auditee. But when you look at it, they said the tribunal only rely on the state witness. And from what Budget Advocacy Network said, they said they were there during the tribunal proceedings. And from the proceedings, there were experts that were there from the INTO side, the Supreme Audit Council, the General Audit International body that regulates auditing standards in the world. And they said there was an expert there that speak to the issue, saying that there is nothing wrong with the Auditor General, with the auditor, for an auditor to ask for third party and to clarify anything that he or she has some doubts about. But they said they were shocked to see that within the tribunal's report, the testimony of the expert view was not mentioned, only the state witness. And they said that one is misleading, saying that they had so many documents that were tendered, even the testimony of the Auditor General herself and Tamba Momo. They said none of these were mentioned. They said they were there when the proceedings were occurring, and they said none of these things were mentioned. The tribunal only labeled, they only placed their findings on these state witnesses, and nothing about the experts and other people that gave their views that testified during the proceedings. And the other thing that they mentioned is that they've audit service alone failure to audit Freetown City Council. But Ban made it very clear. They said, as mentioned by the auditor, by the Deputy Auditor General, saying that the money, the particular audit that they are talking about, that money was not handled by Freetown City Council. And they said a money that was not handled by a government institution cannot be audited. It can only be audited when the individuals that the donor that gave that money, they allow you to audit that money. But they said, Freetown City Council, we are not the ones that implemented the project. The donor themselves implemented the project. And they said within the audit report, that particular report that about this issue, the Freetown City Council was there. They said they were there. Why should the tribunal try to just sideline a particular issue? And when they said lack of professionalism, they said according to Ban, what they said from the Supreme Audit Council, they said Tamba Momo, who is the former Deputy Auditor General, and the suspended Latte Peers acted in good faith, and they said there were no professional misconduct or no professional breach as at the time they were on that auditing exercise. They said they were there when the proceedings were on. They said even Tamba Momo, when the audit service alone was requested for the third party verification of the receipt, they said they did not mention the office of the president. They just sent, the receipts to verify, and the people themselves gave them a response. So they said the people, the auditor himself did not say office of the president from Sierra Leone. They just did that type of to verify, and when they verify what they got, that is what they placed in. So they said it is not possible for the auditor to the final auditor to come to the auditor again and ask for permission for him or her to reach to a third party. Okay. They said that is not proper.
Okay, Emmanuel, what did ban mean? What do they mean when they said the tribunal, failure of the tribunal to use the correct legal standards and exclusive reliance on state witnesses that they pointed out were some of the faults in the report?
Well, from the lawyer there, Eleanor Thompson, who is from Citizens Barry, when she was speaking, she said some of the legal applications that the tribunal used, they were not properly used for the said issue. They said these legal applications were not properly used. It is a misapplication, and they said the proof, there were not enough proof to criminalize Lara Pierce and that of Tamba Momo. There were not enough proof. And they said if the tribunal wanted to do anything, they should have implicated people from the office of the president and not the Auditor General and that of our Deputy Tamba Momo. That was what they said.
And now, in their recommendations, let's talk about what they recommended.
One of the strong recommendations that they made is for Parliament to dismiss the recommendations of the tribunal's report, because they said it is the tribunal's report, when you look at it, is seen to be biased because the witnesses that were there, the document that were tendered, were not captured in the final report. So they said that particular scene made the whole committee itself that was set up, the tribunal, was seen to be biased. So Parliament itself should dismiss it. They said if the reason why they are asking for Parliament to dismiss it is because if Parliament do not dismiss it, it tampers with transparency and accountability of the state. Okay. Because they said, as it is, people so rely on Audit Service Sierra Leone reports. They say Audit Service Sierra Leone report has stood the test of time, even guiding the ACC to go after certain institutions and certain individuals. So they said if Parliament look at this particular recommendation from the tribunal and accept it, it undermines transparency and accountability processes, even in offices, because they said now if this particular thing goes on and the auditor is removed from the position, even internal auditors in offices will be afraid to do their job, because when they want to do their job, they will tell them that, oh, you see what we did to your boss, the Auditor General. So they will be under undue pressure from doing the right thing.
So in all of this, how did BAN see this will affect the independence of the Audit Service Commission?
It was clear there. They said, one of the things that the bank it on, they said, President Bill has already made it clear that he is a government that fights corruption and transparency and accountability. He has always preached that it is his mantra. So they said if such a situation comes up and it is not properly dealt with, then there will be no independence of the Auditor General itself. They said they are not doing anything, they are not making this call to protect Lara Pierce. They are making this call to protect the office of the Auditor General. They said because since the office of the Auditor General started its work, that office has stood the test of time, and because they want to protect the independence of the Auditor General's office and not the individuals that were involved or the office, that is the reason why they are calling for Parliament to dismiss the recommendations from the tribunal, because the recommendation are perceived to be biased.
Okay. So in essence, they stood firmly on Parliament not disregarding the whole report.
Yes, that was what they said.
Okay, thank you very much, Emmanuel. Continue to stay with us in the program as we come over to the ACC, as they are high off the air because of this Smooth Ibrahim report. And now, Mr. Sandy, coming to your work and the Auditor General's report, let's talk about the synergy between these two offices, because we know that there was a time when the ACC acted mostly on what the Auditor General report had to reveal.
Yeah, thank you very much. You see, we have to make it very clear to the public, but I'm sure they should know, except otherwise, that the work of the Audit Service Sierra Leone, particularly in relation to the audit reports, has to do largely with Parliament. Parliament has the primary role. The Anti-Corruption Commission had to step in because there was, if you like, some lacuna, or there were some gaps, and the people we are looking up to ACC largely. So most often when reports were out, the Anti-Corruption Commission will go and ensure, because it will be a whole hue and cry about corruption when the monies would not have been probably accounted for, or they say without supporting documents, etc. But you see in the recent, when the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament have now been taking steps, the ACC is slowing down, and quite essentially that is how it should be. Institutions mandated to do work should be seen doing their work, and not ACC to micromanage. So that is the reason why. But however, we have an MOU, existing MOU with the Audit Service Sierra Leone, and then in the course of the audit, if they bump into anything that is of corruption in nature, they will bring it to our attention. And if also they're having challenges in the work that they do, they'll bring it to their attention. Similarly, if Parliament too, they are doing their own work and it has to do with corruption, then we will handle it. So there is that synergy. But we want to make it very clear to the public that these institutions, we are complementing ourselves, or we are complementing the work we do. Not necessarily now people to say, well, it is Parliament have taken over that of ACC's job. No. Audit service reports are channeled. Firstly, those who have primacy is Parliament, and then not the ACC. But the ACC have got its own mandate. But if there are specific issues of corruption from an institution, and it happens to be also an audit issue, those are different things. We can still look at the aspect of corruption, and then the aspect of the audit will be looked at by Parliament. So those are the kinds of fine lines we need to create. But then we are working in synergy, we are working together, at least to ensure that the accountability space, the transparency arrangement, and that of good governance and anti-corruption work in the country, they go hand in glove.
Okay, and also now coming to your work, we know that most times the ACC visits these institutions, of public institutions, on systems review. Let's talk about what you do about that, because most times there may not be corruption per se, but it's under the operations of the institutions that are not systemic.
Yeah, definitely that happens quite often, because institutions that have weak systems are prone to corruption. You see, that's the more reason why Barack Obama, some time back when he was president, and I'm sure came to Ghana, said we need strong systems and not necessarily strong leaders. Because you need to build the system and make sure that that compartment, or that watertight compartment arrangement, is within the MDA. So that is what essentially the systems review do.
So what do
they
you
go
do
in, they go into the institution, they have an engagement, which we call usually as an entrance engagement or inception meeting, and then tell you the aspects that they're coming to look at. They will look at your financial management, for instance. They look at your human resource management. They look at your fuel. They look at assets management. So they look at all of this aspect. That's the holistic or comprehensive review. There are times they also will do thematic reviews. They can go into an MDA and then decide that we do not want to look at everything, but we are specifically looking at your fleet management, because a lot of fuel is allocated for vehicles that are not operational and things like that, when we have got that kind of report. So they look at it and begin to follow the trail. But quite often you see we do comprehensive review, whereby we look at every bit of thing, and once we look at them, we'll tell you the implication that exists with this organization or with this that is not in place, and then we profile the recommendation that you have to put this in place so that you save yourself from that, which can be a possible aspect or leading to corruption, an opportunity leading to corruption. So when we come to monitor, we now would want to ensure or to follow that you have implemented that, or you have put that in place, because that will be a safeguard for you not to be corrupt or not an opportunity to corruption. So we try to, do away with incentives of corruption, the aspect of monopoly, the opportunities that exist within that MDA. So when we have done that, having looked at our institution, that's why we don't micromanage. As I said, we engage the client institution, they tell us how to do it, and with our expert advice, we tell them, going forward, this is what you do, and we come and ensure. And they have been putting things in place so that you minimize corruption, especially in service delivery institutions. And the aspect of service delivery charter has also come in our course of the review work, whereby if institutions are there that do not have service charters, for instance hospitals, for instance the revenue generating institutions that people go, we make sure that we develop a service charter, and the service charter should always be updated, whereby when citizens will go or people go for services, they are able to know clearly what is available, what you can provide, at which cost, and within which period.
So how?
And once there, once there are delays, you also have an area for remedy within the organization, or you can get to the ACC and make the report, and we can take steps to address your challenge. So you will want to ask, how well has that helped? Well, I want to say it has worked out to a very large extent.
Okay.
It has worked out to a very large extent. That is the more reason why you see in these governance indexes or surveys or reports that come out, we've seen improvement in the work that MDAs are doing. As I said earlier, it doesn't mean that there are still no incidences of corruption. That's the more reason why when reports are made to the ACC that relates to what you may describe as naked corruption, we go in and do the investigations, and people are charged to court. So all these aspects of education, prevention, prosecution, they are going hand in glove. And as well, the National Anti-Corruption Strategy I spoke about ties in with the prevention work as well, because they go in to ensure that there are structural changes or adjustments within the MDEs. But this is now done together with the citizens themselves, who could determine or who could be able to decipher that that's the problem happening in this society, in that MDA and that place. So we have to put up these structures to help. That's the beauty about the integrity management committees too, because they are to assist management of those agencies by way of addressing the issues that have been identified that are corruption issues within those agencies. And over the period, they have been doing extremely well with the monitoring that is done on a quarterly basis. Those that have not been doing well, we have also had the opportunity to caution them that they need to step up and emulate those who are doing very well in the fight against corruption.
Okay. Now, thank you very much, Mr. Sandy. As we round up Lucy, now about this rehabilitation of mentally disadvantaged victims, let's talk about how successful your advocacy has been over the years.
There has been a lot of challenges, but we are still going. We are able to partner with line ministries like the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Social Welfare, which we recently signed a permanent service level agreement with. That's a huge start. Yeah, we've been acknowledged in the mental health space. I believe victim is not a strange name, it's a household name when you talk about mental health in this country. With a little or nothing the executive director started with, and the support of the board, we have been able to push this far. Recently, through this advocacy, I was fortunate as the executive director to be one of the African CDC 11th cohorts mental health leadership program held in Nigeria at the University of Ibadan. So I believe we are going gradually. It is not easy, but the journey is still going.
Okay, and now let's talk about recommendations. We know that there are private counselors, for offices, like the theme for this year for mental work in the workplaces, for schools also, the counseling department. Like, do you have any recommendations? Because we don't see much of that in this country.
In fact, part of our work plan for 2025 is school outreach, because over the years we've been focused on the slum communities. We raise a lot of awareness in the slum communities. I could remember we collaborated with Balanta Academy of Music and Performing Arts to see how we can get young people that are out there in the slums with talents to sing or arts, to see how we can engage them in supporting their talents. But this, as part of early planning we have put our work plan together to focus on schools. We are hoping to get support from GCC Canada to engage in massive awareness raising of schools across the Western urban and Western rural by the grace of God. But like I said, it has not been easy. And before I drop the mic, one of the challenges that minimize or limit our advocacy is legislation. With better legislation and policies, it is easier for us to pass the message, the awareness we are raising in communities, for us to minimize stigma that will all couple up to promote mental health and well-being generally. But we do not have better legislation in terms of mental health. We are still operating under the Lunacy Act of 1902. We are putting a lot of advocacy effort to see how we can change that. And partners have come together, I think, since last year to this year, to see how we can review that Lunacy Act. We have done that successfully. The bill, as I speak, is right now in Parliament waiting for it to be valid as an act. And with that act, we hope to achieve more. So please, Papa government, we are pleading not to buy force. When I tried with that act, it don't really take.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Lamine, from Advocacy for Rehabilitation of Mental Disadvantaged Victims. And finally, Emmanuel, what does BAN plan to do if the reports or the recommendations of the tribunal are not disregarded?
Well,
did they say anything?
No. BAN, they made it clear that they'll continue to advocate. They said the next step, they've just put out a press release, bringing out their analysis, and they'll take it to Parliament. As you could recall yesterday, the APC members in Parliament, they've also, put out their own their own position, and their position there is that it's like they are towing the line of BAN and ICASEL, the Institute of Chartered Accountants. And for that particular report to go through, it needs 2/3 majority of Parliament. So this is where BAN are seeing it now. You are seeing it now as maybe their plea may be granted.
And finally, Mr. Sandy, about the reports, where are we having the celebration?
Oh, well, where you celebrate in whatever form and in wherever you are. But let us as Sierra Leoneans always feel assured, feel confident, because people just have views as if we are not making progress. I want to stress and to state that as a country, we are making progress in the areas of the fight against corruption, transparency and accountability. And the more reason why we continue to encourage everybody to come on board, because corruption is an existential threat, and we know it's a national security issue, as always emphasized by the current president, Dr. Julius Maada Bio.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, that's how we end the podium for this afternoon. Many thanks to my studio guests for being part of the show. Our quote for today came from Carl Cross, who is a writer and journalist, and it says, "Corruption is worse than prostitution. The latter might endanger the morals of an individual, whilst the former invariably endangers the morals of the entire country." My producer has been Salma Taban. My name is Daphne Zainab Kamar. The podium returns tomorrow, same time. Goodbye.
Gayus?
Yes, I get you.
Well, from Bulem, I welcome you to the program Wayus, the program where they bring the information come to you. I know say you then also outside this country, you go out for take part, and the only way for do it.
And for worship program, the number where you see on television, one 076 or 031 812174. Send you text or WhatsApp message, we read them say the program.
Could be your voice.
My voice.
Inside the program today, Budget Advocacy Network, then we get one press conference on the suspension of the Auditor General, Laratilo Pias, and the Deputy Winner, Tamba Momo. The people in the Pentagon community, then they appeal for let them go make the road and the bridge. NCTVA, we na accredited modern standard vision and creative college. The National Protected Air Authority NPPA don't join international partner them for address climate change, and the Green Scenery Sierra Leone don't join the fight against climate change. These are more plus other things we will bring Canton answer the program we use. My name na Dan Mose.
Nando Atawanka, na my name.
We'll have to take a break and join with sponsor.
Yes, Dan.
All right, then we now so we will begin. We'll go inside this budget advocacy and press conference with them all on the suspended Auditor General Laratilo Pias and the Deputy Tamba Momo. Well, ban now then we hold this press conference and we'll listen to Emmanuel Samoa.
The list for the Auditor General in tribunal report, where they ask question about the integrity and professionalism for the Auditor General, where then suspend and in deputy, don't make beaucoup people worry from that same day. Ban in report been show say the tribunal in ground for decide say Laratilo Pias and Tamba Momo been do serious misconduct, not get any benefit and they not get better proof. According to Ban, they been talk say the tribunal no use the correct legal standard and they only able pan state witness the no more. Now one part the main reason they will make the tribunal not be able for reach one conclusion we get one word.
The tribunal inability to specify allegation against the respondent and allow Tamba Momo. Misapplication of the legal standards, reliance on state witness while disregarding expert testimony from national and international regulatory authorities, and selective presentation of evidence in the report undermines the tribunal credibility and the integrity of its findings.
When they give the thing them with them fen, Budget Advocacy Network don't call on Parliament for dismiss the recommendation them where they inside the tribunal in report.
We say Parliament for dismiss the recommendations because the report self and the recommendations on which the report's based and the process get serious legal and other issues.
The Salon Association of Journalists say then concerned about the process where the Auditor General in tribunal being used for pull them kind report here so where people they think say bias.
The Auditor General and her deputy Tamba Momo is a very concerning thing to slash. The process of removing these people is what we are concerned about. And for the sake of that office, protecting the name of the office is the things that we are concerned with.
As the talk for this issue here they continue, now we know sabi who that inside Parliament go take where them they debate this kind controversial issue here so. For SLBC we use, Mina Emmanuel Samoa will bring this report can to you.
Well, people them with tap the Pentagon community, they beg for make them help them for constructing road and bridge. Well, make we hear from them.
Such famous concept, the New York view, Pentagon extension, we lack of access to this community. The bridge, what we use, is very poor, and we need the government people them for let them can assist we for let we get road network where they lead to the cemetery. We don't make cemetery when a 4 acre and 9 town lots. We dey start with the New York View, Lokoton, Bangbaila, Phase 2, Pentagon, Mount Zion, Jackington, Kusuton, Kamayama, Timberland, Kolatri.
I never been to Papa. Yana Pentagon New York. The challenge to get place no money, no get fire road, no get a bridge. One I lay bike there and the cross. You must not know because they let the help then the bike there the cross. Just not the nobody know they look it. For this now the community na big they big so. The community not big. No na they not get about nobody know they thing to pass no more now they big no more half thing there. Half sports no money there. Fire road no day now. The light back now for say we will go. The government say approve now the like people no money. It's not a thing possible to talk about. You can be see how the road they know so.
All right, SCCTV, well, now an accredited modern standard visionary and creative college. Well, for no more on that, let me see what you then get.
SCCTV, Republic of Sierra Leone, Certificate of Accreditation, Modern Standard Visionary and Creative Institute, Freetown.
According to Master Sabi people them, we get rank, support and help to Buklani can push community and also bring development na the country. For sake of this make the president for Salon, we put Buklani before na agenda. This will make different people them embody, don't they get rank and support to Buklani business na the country. This don't make NCTV don't give word for make the modern standard visionary and creativity college for start for push Buklani business go before na the country. And same way so for make they continue the good work where they don't they do to young people all about the country. When they talk, why make they give accreditation to this college? Yeah, one of the person will come out na the NCTV. We talk this.
Number one, the institution get for right NCTV, get for apply for accreditation. But then when we they reply to them, we they ask them for me them submit them CVs them of some of them key members of staff. Then also we ask them for me them to submit a concept notes. And this concept notes now we they be the headings when they for develop the concept notes. Then after they don't do that, the next step we ask them for then this concept notes and the series then we get to see where they review. So if they go to the reviews and they okay we ask them for let them download the accreditation form.
We used to be same way so turn the camera to the one way Tima before the modern standard visionary and creativity college. Maybe talk this.
And the purpose for open institution they are for empower young women them in God begin, especially the disadvantaged women, the women who they go rape, women the way they maltreat them and those all that stuff and so now from that background they make we open the institution. We start with just 2 vocational courses then later it becomes successful, then we get for embark other courses then.
So till they see how the modern standard visionary and creativity college they continue for empower young people and give strength to education business and the country. Slbc Tv, I'm not as I say Entile Williams.
Well, from Yanda, the National Protected Area Authority will then join with them international partner them for address climate change.
Dwight ZK Sharif, the Deputy Executive Director of the National Protected Area Authority under the Ministry of the Environment and Climate Change. Wetland International are a dependable and organization where they don't support the government of Sierra Leone through the National Protected Area Authority. We come here today because they officially inform we say they want for come now these 2 villages there with the partners that they oversee that they don't see a space where they see say it depleted and therefore they want for to do mangrove restoration. They're able for support now the wetland marine ecosystem of this country for we able to restore the depleted areas, especially at the mangrove, when at the marine protected areas.
Alaji Malik Shaka, me na the project manager for Mangrove Capital Africa, and also na me represent Wetland International Africa na Sierra Leone. Now for bring these 4 communities together and engage them, Mokobu within Aya, Mochil, Mayambi, and Batbai. And therefore communities there, they all day na Ribi, Chiefdom, and they in the Yoribi marine protected area. The main purpose is to for engage the community people there. Tell them about these degraded areas we call the area. They are aware of it, but some of them they don't like I do, and they don't get no means for restore them. So we want for come and support them for restore their degraded areas. Then beside the way they do farming activities, but because of what they experienced with this the way they call climate change, the water level they can in, they can put banks or dike, but still that dikes the water can infiltrate and pass them.
Me na Fatima Sajalo, because the table will be there with them and go there, like how would they say no more, like what grandpa be says this no. We be not used to them and go there, but first when they come up, them and go there, home they go. We remember with the whole then next year, we go fishing. The can't fish the home medication, then and normal they use. And we they catch them fine fish, then I will be the carry. So, but for now, when they don't begin the chap them and go, we see say now this man go do the chap now they give him money. But they don't send them, they feel bad for now, they suffer because then can't fish home with the old normal and they go fishing, they get so now they able to get again, so don't fish there. But then send them the way they get with the camp, where they get the start camp the first month. Uncle get some kind of fish the home with the kitchen and the net as well to go not buy fish. But for now when they start cost them and go here, we made the take and say now this man go the cost they go sell survive we save. For this time around in the strand cap we made.
Alright, let me bring on a dish as green scenery. Sierra Leone, well, they're not all, well, just all this kind of talk, we then go remember what we don't pass for promote and for protect. So they be all with some stakeholders and government agencies in the western area, well, Peninsula National Park, and they be driving with the Council of Churches of Sierra Leone. Well, where you still be daily?
Stop land grabbing.
Freetown got 27 watersheds, 22 in an urban, and 5 in a rural. So these are critical habitat where we call an ecosystem services support. If women are not there today and the other watershed them not there today, and obviously people they go to Freetown. Because how many percentage they make use of groundwater with a water well, right? So all the flow right from the hills and they also live from our plan and work alongside community and stakeholders there for see how we will able to save this forest together. It is not lost, there is a lot we can do. And also, let me not forget about the coastal geomorphology, which I mean the entire coastline. From Calabar town, they can Freetown like 3 distinct coastline. You get some side and doing a sandy, you get sandy beaches, what we say sandy indented shores. We get other and doing a mangroves. You know, the mangroves they serve as buffer for coastal zone protection. All they don't degrade them for housing, people they don't degrade them for fuel wood and other purposes. I believe say if we continue for work with their communities then they and do proper law enforcement.
One of the main challenges we encounter as a company, as a state-owned enterprise, the acts of deforestation, the water catchment areas, and the disturb water supply. Of course, over the years, we don't see a lot of encroachment. Now water catchment areas, From number 2, mile 13, which will make that day where they supply 90% of water we get at Freetown, and other catchment areas. Before now, we get 52 water catchment areas, but due to deforestation, encroachment, we don't lose plenty. Now 33 now will be managed. Every that 33 day, 50 of that 33 but don't encroach. So the fight, not to come only for spearhead fight, we need every stakeholder. Not only the NPAA, we go the government charged with the responsibility for protect the Freetown National Park, the forest, the water catchment areas, but we also need stakeholders and the communities which are the water catchments day for step up the efforts for protect the water sources. We all know say water is life and nobody will do without water. If lights on you get alternative. But if water not what's not the alternative water? So this program very important to Uma Valley Water Company because it provides solution to the areas where they don't deforestate, where they don't cut them, where they don't encroach our water catchment areas. So the planting of trees is very important so we existence. Imagine if water not there, there will be no Uma Valley Water Company.
Well, for Mianda, the Residential Elderly Care Foundation does celebrate their 5 years anniversary with the old people them. This will be now will by force. When I join me, Sabide with them.
For rich old age, na blessing. So for show love and humanity to we old people them, say we still like and they care about them, make the Residential Elderly Care Foundation, we done the support over 500 old people them for over 5 years now, with medical support, clothes for work, tin for it, and make gladdy for them, for make them self-member years with them comping them, make today the foundation with support from the 34 Military Hospital and the Premium Divine Training Company Limited, don't celebrate the foundation in 5 years of humanitarian excellence with the theme, Age with Dignity. Where if they talk, the keynote speaker for the ceremony, Dr. Claudius William Tucker, been called on everybody for make them support the aged as them vulnerable and need people them around for give them hope, show love and caring. The executive director of the Residential Elderly Care Foundation, Karifa Kelo Toronka, talk about the joy we can flop their hearts anytime we then give support to old people them for the past 5 years. He say one of the main challenges over the years na sponsorship for support the old people them. As you go before for call on donors them for support the foundation for help more old people them.
From 2019 we don't do 2 community assessment survey, one in the eastern part of Freetown and one at the western part of Freetown, wherein we get now over 500 older people now with database. To do them at one time 2021 we don't distribute 100 bags of rice and 100 gallons of oil. We don't distribute product from Premier Divine Trading, over 100 to 200 of them beneficiaries there, like every 2 times per year, you know. So like some of the challenges now is lack of sponsorship. We don't really get sponsors. We don't write a lot of letters to international partners and also to government, to individuals, but we get few turn up for support. On behalf of the foundation, they appeal to the government, individuals, business houses for see how best they can we aid and see support we for CC we do more than what we do so. And then they always are the yarn for let and makes put smile on somebody's face, especially old person. Where I make somebody smile, and they feel good.
The beneficiaries them being receive free medical checkup and medicine from the 34 Military Hospital and 1 carton Cremella milk each from the Premium Divine Training Company Limited as their own support. As them be eat and dance, now so them being gladdy, pray and tell God thank you for the support with the Residential Elderly Care Foundation can give them.
Oh, now member we show, let God remember una. What matters say, let God help una, let God guide una sauna day. I know they see right now, they see you, mama, la no shame for talker. Now God no more work out to me. Go now, mommy, take better out. Let God bless you now.
Yeah. Dabe, Kamara. Tell and thank you. Gladdy. Let's follow you.
Thank you.
For SLBC.
All right, for the government feed salon agenda go work proper one. Vegetable farmer them na Kwenadugu district and Kafubulom chiefdom local district. Then they look the agriculture value chain development projects at the Ministry for Agriculture for introduce them to smart agricultural production, where according to them now for increased production and will compare to the past year. Well, let me pull this now though, tell them get one monitoring exercise for take stock on how the project don't go so far with the copper we then get from International Fund for Agricultural Development. Abraham Samoa been there with them.
Then vegetable farmer inside Kwenadugu and Potuloko districts, now they farm them where the agriculture value chain development project where they inside the Ministry of Agriculture don't they support farmer them now that part of that country there. Then farm also now one part the main value chain them where the project don't they give strength to and support farmer them where inside there they land them for make them go know about climate resilient and smart agriculture approach where now way for them go increase by the agriculture and self you give value for the production. The farmer them, then be support them with both technical and then give them couple and also self, then land them how for plants, then vegetable yaso, where it no go die and self how for take care of the farm them so that the tumbu them where they can eat them vegetable yaso, then no go do them again. According to the farmer them, before AVDP projects become to them, then maybe they work better one. They say because waiting maybe they plant and they come up fine, but they say for more than get this smart sabi training where the project give them, but smart agriculture don't make them plant they come up fine one and say then they produce boku vegetable them where safe now then save the gladi. Sierra Mara now one part the vegetable farmer them inside Kwenadugu districts.
We dey just work the training small what we can do, and we no go, we know they look the climate, we dey just the work, we know they get money. AVDP don't come and don't change we life. Then they train we, then they show we before they go work any side, you go look your ground, how you for make a nursery, how you for make the bed, how you for make a heap.
With the support we then get from the projects, the farmer them say they be introduce them to one technology when they call compost hole, where they say that they use them for me them go make organic manure, where them for use by the plants them. They say this idea also now for me them go stop the vegetable farmer them, for me them go left for use the chemical fertilizers, where they say that they instead get in your own problem them where they get to the ground, the environment and save the plants. The farmer then say they're glad with this kind of technology where the AVDP project be land them for make the organic manure. Sega Mansari now one part the farmer them where safe then be give this master sabi training. He explain more.
AVDP I can't teach with this because of the they pull money too much for buy fertilizer. If you take and put on by plantation, it come out fine.
This compost makes so. When they see say that fertilizer, it amok with yabas. The yabas come out fine, you know, rotten, and the yabas add them water and so the thing come out fine for them.
This idea also, they say, now one study tour where they go do na the Gambia Banjul with the farmer them, Jacob James, na the agronomist, na the agriculture value chain development projects, na the northern part of the country. He said the project don't support farmer them with working tools them, then give them training, how to take care of them plants, and save other masters a bit in them, where for make them plants come up fine one.
This part of the country and the activity where they've been done, they highly engaging now vegetable production. So we decide for select them for vegetable production.
For the one them where they plant yabas, na Kafobulon chief them inside Potuloko district, they say AVDP don't support them with boku tin them where inside they then don't build for them one store where get all the machine them where they go take for dry the yabas will come up fine one and save then give them what they call greenhouse where there's a climate smart agriculture approach. We say this don't they help them because they say before now the plants them be done they die.
We degrade them by hierarchy A, B, C, D, E, F. We degrade them just like how Jala FPC they degrade. We get to grade points
go to work. So we institution totally different from every other institution. You when they out there, you want a young person, old person, not to say no, you get adults them who are over 50 years, some are even close to 60. And they said all of us they can't graduate.
It go before he said this graduation ceremony now for students them who don't complete in 3 years course. He said before now, they may give free startup kits to students them. It's about from where they find out, say, when they give them free startup kits here, then they go waste them. So they make sure, say, this year, the student they pay 50%, the school self they pay 50%. Because when you money they pass something, you go all out with 2-1. The post will get the main talk. Now, Pastor Suna Toka, one of the founder and general overseer for Divine Holy Ghost Farm Ministry, in be talk to the student they will be graduate and say way so, be tell thanks to Lutheran Empowerment Training Center for way they empower woman and girl picking them all about the country. It be talk about human capital development, where means say what a man for try for do something for themselves.
So then we will pay more premium on human capital development because if you want to salon go before, pass we develop we sell, pass we land and the cow don't land today. We don't come out with flying colors. We don't move like the society for them to be able to contribute in the only two way for their salon go before.
It go before and say women then are the main people into economic development in a country. Na mine kagbo na one part the students them where nobody do nothing. It say it began the passion when not begin money to go start, but with support from in family members them na then they graduate soon.
So that give me the confidence and the courage. By the time me say for say this work, I go learn and I go be like any kind of condition take what make I reach the next day usai at this one. And I tell God thank you, I know you get anything and I pray to God that God no go make what I learn, you know go in pain. And I always pray to God that God give me work where usai they achieve safe or usai they able do me own small table where they able for get me your money for take care of myself and the family.
For Wayus Nigerian Dumbuya, the reports.
All right, Women in Governance, they organized one campaign where they talk about non-violence, with the main talk, breaking the violence and end domestic violence against women and girls in the Western area. Well, Mosisi say, get the story.
Women in Governance, we will form this network and we launch them on September 2023. This project is supported by European Union through Trokia. The aim of this network, now for more we push woman business for go before. Let the young women go they part of decision making in a Western area rural districts.
Of course, now we bring out this campaign when I break the silence and end domestic violence against women, because we don't see there is need and we don't get so many women them where we feel say they don't abuse and more we don't lost lives them and we not go want for the continue for wait until where their lives they are so don't die. We grab now and they say justice for this, justice for that. We don't lost here, we're not able to save them. But there are also we get other women them being we back where we need for save. So now that they are alive, make we they break the silence, we they talk for them, we they advocate, we they bring awareness so that the people themselves, because what they continue for they do waiting and they do. And that one day we want for tap, batang, not for just Western area rural districts, but also other districts them. One for say we women then get the freedom for make themselves go able for team up for themselves, they're able for take decisions them. They're able for them at tables there where decisions then they cook. We say enough is enough. We they come out now and do them for ourselves because we feel say now we no more be able for do them. So on that note, I make we organize this particular match today, the awareness reason, and of course I want to tell plenty thank you to European Union Turkey and Sierra Leone for this platform.
I want to get Kenema. I'm the district for Western Rural District. I come from the Ministry of Social Welfare. Gender-based violence, complain them beaucoup. We even don't do some outreach programs into Newton, Fogo, and the other side, but still it's in the go because of recently this Basatum. One boy, he beat the when our neighbor no more than day, he beat the beginning as well. 2 weeks the pikin no even go school. So don't still say if you not come out strong, they're not ready for let them left. Waiting to do. So I make a join young women in Kenema, so let we still talk to them because sometimes all the world don't come and no more. We talk to few people, the people that know they go tell them waiting happen. So we'll come on and do now. Where they still one the way they get this way. People say they think they do the bad.
Una law put time together for this good initiative where they don't bring cars so that we the FSC self go put hand on that for one. Then I just want to remind you that say another new signing don't take place where Boku no know it. When are the early marriage? What's at this? Yes. Picking like this when not 18 years, you go force her for married. One now will not go on with this message. You will get the married, you the man will married, will not always sit up at that married, that particular day, where we all know now they face the law. Please let this message go because we did on sensitization apart from this, we dey go right now for tell Una this new act.
From Yanda, the Christ Standard School na Waterloo, Calabatong and Hastings don't take them picking them on a field trip. Go na the Lagos Hope Ship Library na Wataki for make them go learn more and get new experience. So now join me, I'll be there with them.
This is Sierra Leone. Then I the headmistress na Christ Standard Primary Waterloo. Some picking them day, you know, one day get the opportunity then for come here and can see new things and play with people, then done and get a new friends. So we carry them today for let them go. Let we expose them, let we make sure say they see new things so that they go learn more. They're really happy. They're really happy today. Then gladly, then they play, they interact with the other picking them. We really appreciate myself with the staff. They really appreciate. It really mean a lot to them because they not really good way you didn't then far side and they not see the majority of them, almost all of them. They know one day comes in a kind parts then they. So now a good opportunity for them today for come and see things that way they not be don't ever seen at their life it. So it really mean a lot to them. Christ Standard a school, a Christian school. Begin the way the parents they be don't die, who they don't live there, they don't get that support. So now a school and the way the mission don't come with or they improve. Then begin a several and not on to go out. That we able to impart knowledge in them.
Me na Mohamed S. Bangua, Makomo from Christ Standard Kalbaton. Then come for can learn so many things inside the ship because we don't think we will tell them about the ship. So today we count the learning self can see the reality of the ship.
What is special about the ship?
Well, the ship get library and they get books and way the beginning. If they get phone, you know, they don't go through the library, they don't watch, and then they see so many things and way they make them they learn. You need for learn you begin go they go out. More especially when they think they are the kind of content because when they go so you can take. So you will find let yourself let you make your picking can see and can through the library can see the phone, you know, so many things in the inside way you learn.
My name is Mrs. Hannah Pukonte. I'm the headmistress and nursery department at Christ Standard P Primary School. First in 19th Station Road, picking and landing, not just no more inside. Sometimes we don't take the picking them out, make them go land. We can't for picking them can land, make them see but put things them. As you can see around where you can at this place here, you go to the picking land book because anything the people see the church and ask. And when they ask who they give them correct answer. So these books, they tell them that the books and different books, so they tell them, you don't find no more inside class, you put picking almost, they don't want to learn for day. You get for move the picking outside. They choose the picking about Christ, we they choose the way them for behave, we they choose the way how them for them at the community. Even picking, the way how you talk, we they choose them. They not just the ST. Christ Standard they Calvaton, up my Kenema. Christ Standard they Waterloo, up by Bure. Now a school where we say they help the picking there, where we say they don't get mama and papa. When you come, the Content Foundation, they make this school for help people who don't get nothing. But inside the back, they take a page charge. So now you get some people they play inside the school. But we get the free people that offer them and then at the school.
Alright, so we'll go for a short break. We'll come back to continue the program. Welcome back to the program. Well, we continue.
Yes, Dan. As we all know, we still inside the breast cancer awareness month in October with a join we own Yvette called Smith as he gets more.
O'clock, 12, all man to the clock, 12, yes, 1, 2, 3, 4.
You say breast cancer na global sick where all man don dey show concern now for how for fetam and same way so how for provide early treatment so that woman them go left for die.
We dey try for everyone because we not get all the treatments that is country. We get surgery, we dey go cut the body, or cut the lung, we get chemotherapy, but we need more than that. So we dey raise funds and we dey advocate to government for that we get the full treatment so that if you get them, you are sure say you will cure. But for now, because we not get the full treatment, we say early detection saves lives. Now repeat, early detection saves lives.
Over the years, women them na salon don dey catch breast cancer. Some don't die, and some able forget treatment we make them turn survival. The Well Woman Clinic inside every October. They go all about the country for tell women about breast cancer. And the theme for this year, now early detection saves lives. And same way so then say, nobody not for left in one grain. This then say, they're ready for joining with the government of Salon, partners them, and same way so women them for come together so that they will fight the sick, what they call breast cancer. The Deputy Commissioner for NRA, winner Anne-Marie Adin, and same way so the co-proprietor for Balani and Sons, winner Raj Balani, and Oral Insurance Company, the managing director, Seth. They may rub mud inside the breast cancer talk, outside them and give free treatment to over 200 women them na salon. Then say, then will continue for give then support to Well Woman Clinic for make sure so then tinap stronger one and same way so for make them go able for teach people in the country but breast cancer and same way so support them with equipment them.
Finance, of course, now they raise money, revenue for the government. Not a normal government they spend money, but based on what we can see today, and that is a part of the corporate social responsibility. We go see how we go come in more, we go push more for them.
So you believe so we will fight breast cancer and
Of course, my dear sister. If we detect them early, they go be treated. We go overcome them. The only thing why they say that the awareness raising, if they increase on them for make people they aware. Waiting at breast cancer, how they go to check them every day. Me and you two go able to tell picking them, go able to tell sister, they go able to tell auntie them. They go be stopped earlier. So people.
Well, Woman Clinic means same way so mean gets one waka usai them in Duam na the Freetown Golf Club and people them all about the country like politicians and school picking them, doctors them, and inside this waka so them in all them able for get couple and inside that couple they and they use for take care of women them where they get breast cancer and then get plan for going inside both districts for get one cervical cancer campaign for ways. Now Yvette called Smith send these reports.
All right, the first UMACH consultancy group, we in one, of course, in Nigeria, done one 6-week training for security agency in Salon, public and other management them, forensic science and cybersecurity. Well, we will join Baba today.
The time when them be the done na the police training college na Hastings. The trainee them show how for defend and crime management skill them with them learn. The training then say go help for see but crime team them na the country.
And of course we mandate na for provide security for personnel them, provide security for the people of the country, and we do it gently with other secrets of the agency. So it's very important. The demonstration they show say within the land, then they can demonstrate them. And when they are out there now in real time, any situation will arise, they can respond to that adequately.
Course Director and Deputy National Coordinator na the Office of National Security tell Tenki for the type skill them where they learn for security business. In say the way they show say they learn. Na testament for show say the training where they get, then go put that pan security sector for the Bambai. Director of First Emerge Consultancy Group Alhaji Yusuf Manjalo tell President Bio Tenki for where in believe the consultancy for them kind trainee. In carry on for say the core skill them, operation skill them, and technology skill them where they part of the team them where they learn. Key per police business. Inspector General for Police William Fayaselu say then tie the training pan President Bio in plan for improve the mortal man them na the country. On top that in say the idea come where them be meet up serious problem more the thing wey been happen August 10. In say then go make sure say the skill them wey dem learn then go use them that master sabi way na the person, team and institutional level. Pan the skill them wey dem show say dem learn then get fitness and defense tactics. How for handle weapon, VIP protection, crowd management wey dem get demonstration or protest, bomb or improvised explosive device, X-ray and explosion, cyber for surveillance, ethical hacking and how for investigate crime na the country. For way use na Sulaiman Baba Ture the report.
Well, for Mianda, Abons, agriculture, farm, poultry within our Waterloo. Well, them got the inside corner outside there, the small corner. Well, themselves then they do good thing, great thing inside the poultry business in the country. Well, for sake of that, they Slbc go waka for see how them daily operation they go like. Well, make we see from them.
As we been try for reach the pen, the clock sound where they tell you say na sound where they come out from dozen chicken them we dinner that area there. In fact, by the time they reach there, we get for no say na chicken kingdom. This clock noise they come out from the Abon poultry farm where they middle the Mafonike village na Waterloo. Na local poultry farm where they get 5 pen layer them. Young chicken them and you get what they call broiler them where inside there you get egg, the one where they can slaughter and miller feed room. The first pen you get about 2,000 go at them where they one and then they no more for the lay egg. The go at them according to the vetman Ibrahim Afna is say they are the most delicate one them for deal with. Pen 2, 3 and 4 it get layer them where down them the oldest chicken them where they at the farm and then they put them. Then layer so and they dress them with something like a goggle where go prevent them for layer they not go to chook or a chicken them waste and they hide them. Then they eat 12 grams of food every day and then they give them light all time so that they go able for see clear one for eat and drink. You got other set of chicken them where they refer to as broiler them where they one in there then they keep the one in there for eat. They know they hatch egg at all. Before that they one in there then take them like meat where then they send at the local market them. One pan the workman they were in charge of the food pull word say for feed chicken them sometimes in there it can be delicate based on their mood. CEO for Abon Farm Poultry, Augusta Bondu Benda, say Iyon Poultry say na tinwe na source of inspiration after we them don't declare and say you no get cancer again. Say for be CEO, a pull word say it's not easy for say more forget support.
Well, they give them concentrate, maize, wheat bran, then oyster shells. Yeah, now this food we they give them. Then water for always the as for them water na the second food. Exactly. Yeah, this now we vet man, that man okay. Now the vet man. Then we get all the other one that we see the workers the way they are. Because we dey feed them in the morning by then 6:30, 7 o'clock.
I mean Ibrahim Fona. I mean a worker in charge of food. So I make him process the food as well as they do the full number. I they feed the full them. Like they wire, they don't get Google sheets. Like they rubber the way can give them, so they don't get Google sheets. So where they can go I can inside. If they're angry too much, they can peck me food.
This farm they raise healthy chicken them where they go use as meat and for produce egg, and we go serve na the local markets in a salon and the community them where they need them. The local Abon poultry farm not only the help for the food security, but also the support people and to more the feed salon project where government bring them. Now Suzanette Bassi send this report where I read in the studio. All right, the Lord is our shepherd. They celebrate a men's Thanksgiving service. This now for led and go for Bill, then church. Must you say get more.
Mina Elder Anderson of the Lord is our Shepherd International Miracle Center. Men's Thanksgiving, every year we can make men's Thanksgiving, but this is not the first men's Thanksgiving is whenever this church opens. So this is not the men's Thanksgiving is today. Things that we contribute. One, we get a project too they try for able to complete the church. Because one, we want to make we church in the way where it will be one of the best criteria in the rural districts. So that's now we motive. So all this what we do not just a fundraising. For all we able to do, for all assist with that so that God will go before. Not only the Lord is our shepherd. We talk to everybody so far, we a man. This is a stand as a strong weighty self to we see. Means them now we are the head. And we team today now the head, we are the head. Means now we are the head of the church. We know for always left sit down the woman and they dominate me. Not only the church, we own church at the top about. At the talk about the entire country, all the churches then. We need to come together as men for able to help the pastors them follow make sure say God will go before. So this is a very good message we are sent to every churches them. We get men's them. Lord, we come together. Lord, we not just let the body and give the pastors them. We need to come together and join hands as men of every church so that God in work will be established and God in work will be good in the nation. I'll say, the whole country, you're gonna most of the churches them, the woman they dominate the man there. I don't know what's the reason. Because I don't know if that because of the schedules the way the man then get because one and never go there, then never go Fenam. But that notwithstanding, that not able to stop we follow it, able to devote yourself for serve God. If I now say go more most of the churches them, if I now say the woman then the more vigilant, the more variant for serve God, more than we demand them. So this is not a message we are the center. All we demand them. Please, Lord, we not left sit down the woman and dominate we now the churches them. Lord, we come together as man them. Lord, we make sure say now with various churches them. Lord, we stand strong so that God in work will be established.
Alright, now so we go put the cutting down. One for telling I thank you for all I watch the program. Continue for watch them. Always will be on a surprise and team them. Plenty thank you to the colleague that want to see the inside the program. We'll tell Abiose Stanley Jr. and Joseph Kabo, Nanendio on camera. We get Suleiman Samura, on control, Tosan Onyewe, and with transmission supervisor Nafasona Mo. One for tell thanks to we colleague with the Lester Peak. One for tell and thank you day. Who do the program?
My name is Nandewa.
The producer na Lucian Ganda. So we go meet back again on Friday, inshallah. Mina Dan Mosi. Bye bye.
Discover Sierra Leone, a hidden gem of West Africa, where the rhythms of life dance in harmony with the beauty of nature.
Feel the heartbeat of our culture in every beat of the drum, in every step of the dance.
Experience the tranquility of our shores, where each sunrise brings new stories and endless possibilities.
Immerse yourself in the vibrant tapestry of our daily life, where every color tells a tale and every face a friend.
Come, be enchanted by the sights and sounds of Sierra Leone.
A place where your adventure awaits
and memories are made.
Tired of watching or listening to uninteresting television channels? Then your worries have been addressed, as the SLBC Podium is the answer to your concern.
The SLBC television show, The Podium, is one of the programs you can't afford to miss as a guest or a viewer.
Oh yes, Podium is a show where the mighty and the low will like to sit, because it is a trusted medium to channel your views, concerns and aspirations for Sierra Leone and other happenings around the globe.
Podium is where you get breaking news, because everyone wants to talk to us. If you hear it on Podium, ask no further.
Don't forget to join us every midday from Monday to Friday as we ask the hard questions that you otherwise would have asked to the newsmakers, the movers and shakers of events.
Don't miss the opportunity to be part of Sierra Leone's topmost midday show, The Podium, where the agenda is set for others to follow. Thanks for watching. God bless you. Goodbye.
Discover Sierra Leone, a hidden gem of West Africa, where the rhythms of life dance in harmony with the beauty of nature.
Feel the heartbeat of our culture in every beat of the drum, in every step of the dance.
Experience the tranquility of our shores, where each sunrise brings new stories and endless possibilities.
Immerse yourself in the vibrant tapestry of our daily life, where every color tells a tale and every face a friend.
Come, be enchanted by the sights and sounds of Sierra Leone.
A place where your adventure awaits.
And memories are made.
I am Aminata Fofana, a reporter, a presenter, and an anchor for the Slbc.
I am Dennis Fraser, reporter and presenter here at the Public Broadcaster, and this is the Slbc.
Hi, I am Cynthia Kamara, a news anchor, a reporter, radio presenter, and announcer. I find pleasure in keeping you updated. and it's a pleasure.
Hello everyone, I am Stella Frederica Bangura, a reporter and presenter at the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation. Stay tuned all day, every day. Cheers.
Il est 9h moins 3, à 9h pile, on doit être sur scène. Merci.
Nous allons dans quelques instants accueillir celui qui fut le premier à recueillir les musiciens de Robert Nesta Marley. Souvenez-vous, les Wailers.
C'est un homme qui parle bien, qui parle haut et qui parle vrai. Un des plus grands noms de l'histoire de la musique. Grâce à lui, la Côte d'Ivoire est devenue la terre promise du reggae sur le continent africain.
Bob Marley avait fait cette prophétie. Il avait dit que quand le reggae arrivera en Afrique, ça prendrait une dimension. Et nous sommes cette dimension.
Quand ça a décollé, j'avais comme un droit au harcèlement des flics. Je ne savais pas que le reggae que nous faisions était aussi dérangeant. De l'hôpital psychiatrique au numéro 1 du top, la route est très longue.
L'Éternel est mon berger.
natural man. That's the way that you make me feel. Forget about the worries. This is the thing. And this is the way that you make me feel. Back to my roots now. But when we were at the party, I was disappointed, yeah. All we could take was them drunk out. All we could take was them shooting, yeah. For the last of my year, it was not good for any German. And now, me I go say, I'm going back to my roots, and the music is on that I did. I'm going back. Was not good for any German.